For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Well, welcome to February. Happy Valentine's Day. Already off the top of the show. We got a very interesting show lined up for you today. Deb Johnson returns, and she's going to give us lots of wonderful information from St. Clair County Community Mental Health. And then Matt Karis will be along to talk about baseball. So let's get the show started so we can hear about spring and baseball. Deb Johnson, welcome back to the show.
Okay, thank you. I can't talk too much about baseball, but I can talk about, I think I'm moving too much here. Sorry.
That's all right.
I do want to talk a little bit about February is International Friendship Month.
Right.
I don't know if you caught the Paul Miller show yesterday morning, but he opened with, "Thank you for being a friend."
Wasn't that nice? That Paul Miller, he is so good.
It was. I probably should have called you earlier, and you could have done that too. Right. Anyways, I go, that's a perfect segue for our topic. But really, February is International Friendship Month, so it's important. It's important. Friends are important to all of us, but even more so sometimes for people who have mental health issues. And so we like to talk a little bit about that during the month of February. So, friends can help us in so many ways. They help us prevent loneliness, or they help prevent loneliness. They help increase our sense of belonging and purpose. They can help improve our self-confidence and self-worth. And certainly when we're dealing with traumas in our life, such as divorce, death of a loved one, serious illnesses, job loss, things like that, friends are great. They can provide just a ton of support for you. And actually just even having friendships helps, it helps decrease your stress on an ongoing basis. If you kind of use your friends to bounce things off of and talk to and not keep things all bottled up inside. We just want to promote that. And we want people to recognize that if you have a friend that has a severe mental illness, it's harder sometimes for those folks to, either make or maintain friendship. The social circles are typically more their family members and things like that, because it's, sometimes it's because they're embarrassed about their mental health condition, which there's no need to be. Right. We keep talking about that all the time. There should not be any stigma with having a mental health issue any more than having cancer or heart disease, which is Heart Month. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right. Anyways, so if you have a friend that has a mental health issue, try to be supportive. Try to learn a little bit about what their mental health diagnosis is. It'll help you be a better friend to them, and they'll appreciate your understanding, and be a good listener. Listen to what they have to say. If they're not in any kind of treatment, but they need to be, or maybe they've gone off from treatment, help them get back involved if it's appropriate. So there's just a lot of ways. There's always great ideas on the internet to be a good friend. Right. You can look at that. Send little texts, things like that, text messages, call.
Don't give up. February the 14th, we all know what that date is. That's Valentine's Day.
We sure
do. But there's another date, Wednesday, February the 17th, which is a Random Act of Kindness Day. That's a great day, too.
That's a fun day.
Go ahead.
I think that's a fun day. I think that we should, I don't know who invented it or who decided it should be that day, but I think it's great. That's sometimes, I don't know if you've ever had your coffee paid for when you're in Tim Hortons or McDonald's. Yep. Me too. And the first time it happened, I'm like, what? Somebody else paid for me? That's awesome. And then the one time I might have shared this story before, then I said, I'll pay for the people behind me. And the cashier said, ooh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I think they were ordering for the whole office. So I said, okay, I'll hold off and do it another time. But anyways, and there's just a lot of nice things you can do. It's kind of meant as an opportunity to remind people to treat every day as an opportunity to do random acts of kindness. You don't need to wait until February 17th. You can do that any time of the year. In fact, somebody just bought me my coffee a couple weeks ago. But anyway, so that's one of the things you can do. You can just let somebody go ahead of you. Maybe you're not in a big hurry. You see a mom with some little kids or a single dad with some kids. Say, hey, you want to go ahead of me in the line because you're not in a big hurry? Maybe buy some extra food at the grocery store and donate it to a food pantry. Buy flowers for somebody. There's just post anonymous sticky notes with, some accolades to your coworkers. There's just your wife, your husband, things like that.
Okay. You've got a bunch of, you went together with St. Clair County Medical Society, and you've got a bunch of new classes coming up. What's that all about?
Well, it's actually not, with the Medical Society, we're partnering to do a one-day live webinar. It is February 20th from 8 to 11:30. It was Annette Mercantile, Dr. Annette Mercantile brought the idea to us and asked if we would help them put on this training for doctors. And the topic is, COVID-19 webinar for medical professionals. So they'll be talking about some things I can't even pronounce, but antibody therapy, COVID outbreaks in nursing homes. Dr. Cheryl Canto, who's local, will be one of the presenters. Dr. William Fales, who is the state medical director in the Division of EMS and Trauma, will be a presenter. The emerging epidemiology and issues initiatives will be presented by a doctor, I can't even say her full name, Natasha Bagdasarian. She is a senior public health physician, Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. And then our own Dr. Annette Mercantile, our medical health officer from St. Clair County Health Department, will talk about vaccinating with confidence, COVID, and give some other COVID updates. And then I will be providing some how to link with mental health resources in the pandemic and beyond. And that is all happening, again, February 20th, 8 to 11:30. It is free to physicians. It is geared to physicians, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and nurses. You can get 4.25 CME credits through the St. Clair County Medical Society. So we hope that lots of doctors and other medical professionals will join us from the community.
And then you got some online training from Communit Mental Health yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's always important, and those topics are always good.
Yeah, and actually, we recently partnered with MSU Extension to offer a variety of classes. They're doing things like, it's called Relax, Alternative to Anger. It's a series that helps teens, adults, parents, and caregivers understand and manage anger and stress. Stress less for mindfulness is one of the topics. Powerful tools for caregivers, for parents of kids, special need children. And so there's a variety of sessions, and for the most information, to get information about that and to sign up, because a lot of them you don't have to do, like if there's 8 in a series, you don't have to do every 8 sessions. You can just hop on whatever ones you're available for. They're all free. You can go to our website, click on the events tab, and it will drop down information about any event I'm talking about right now.
Okay.
And so you can learn more about it there.
All righty.
You can also, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, you go ahead. Also?
I was just going to say that we have our creative arts contest coming up. You know about that. We've actually featured some of the winners on your show in years past. It was kind of funny. I was giving somebody a tour, one of our county commissioners. Oh, no, it was a new board member of the building the other day, and I was showing her the posters. So many of the winners are from St. Clair High School from the poster contest.
That's
and
right.
It almost seems like it's fixed. But I did say Cindy Wisman, who is our teacher there, has been like a huge supporter of this contest and has gotten lots of kids to submit. So I hope all the schools, high schools in the county, and if you're homeschooled, you can just go online and see what the requirements are to submit your original artwork, no graphic art allowed. Submit it to us by April 16th. Our theme for the year is Hope Lives Here, because we figured, especially in the time of this pandemic, we all need to, hang on to the hope that eventually this is going to go away and we'll get back to some sense of normalcy in the, I don't know, I want to say near future, but it could be longer than the near future.
We'll just hang on. Whenever it happens, it happens.
Hey, I did hear some good news, though. I sit on a weekly county COVID committee, and Dr. Mercantile gives us always the update. And I don't know if she hasn't been on your show, you might want to get her. But we're at a risk level D right now for our county, which is good. It means we are having about 86 positive cases per million people. So for St. Clair County, that equated to about 20 new cases per day in our county. And that's a 5% positivity rate. We were at like a 12% positivity rate. So that's coming down pretty good and steadily. Good. So she said, we got to keep with it. And everything is coming back down pretty much statewide. So those are all good trends. They have given, I think I wrote this down right, 12,206 vaccines so far in St. Clair County, and they're continuing to give the vaccine daily. They did just switch the way that you can register. They issued a press release this morning, or last night actually, but starting tomorrow, go on their website, you can register, and then they will, I think they assign an appointment or they contact you when there's an appointment available for you, which is better than before. It was like sort of like a lottery, first come, first serve. In terms of on the website, you had to be very quick with the keys on the computer to enter your demographics quickly, snag an appointment quickly, and know what you're doing. And so that was frustrating for a lot of people. So they improved the process tremendously. So check that out if you or somebody needs to get a vaccine.
Hey, finally, don't you have something to talk about the heart disease? Isn't this Heart Month?
Yes. Yes, February is also Heart Health Month. Tomorrow, February 5th, I'm not sure when this will air, but February 5th is the National Wear Red to raise awareness about cardiovascular disease, particularly in women. Cardiovascular disease continues to be like the number one killer for people. But women, people have always thought of heart attacks and cardiovascular more of an issue for men, but it's increasingly an issue for women. And women tend to ignore the signs and symptoms more often. So hopefully people will take this opportunity to, look it up and pay attention, either get a physical if you haven't done that in a while, because that is a problem since COVID. A lot of people are pushing off their regular annual physicals and their checkups, and you really shouldn't. And if you have anything you think is wrong with you, get to the doctors, get to the emergency room. If you have heaviness in your chest, difficulty breathing, any of those things, don't wait, And I just watched this morning, Dr. Frank McGeorge was talking about heart disease. And you can't wait. You just need to go. So.
Right. All righty. Well, always got lots of wonderful information for us, Miss Deb Johnson. Have we missed anything?
I'm just trying to look around at oh, yes, we did miss something very important, actually.
Okay.
February is also Black History Month.
Yes.
And one of the things I shared this in the Paul Miller Show, too, that I sit on the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee of St. Clair County. And so we had a meeting just Tuesday, and so we're talking about Black History Month and things that are happening this month in recognition of that. And I just took the opportunity to Google about mental health issues and African American population. And as it turns out, we talk a lot about disparities in health access and different things like that. So what I found out, I've said on your show many times that 1 in 5 Americans are going to experience a mental health issue in any given year. Well, then I found out that 20%, African Americans are 20% more likely to experiencing mental health issues than the rest of the population. And even though 20% are more likely to experience it than the rest of the population, only 25% seek treatment. That's less, almost half the number of Caucasian counterparts that are seeking treatment. So it's definitely an issue we need to continue to focus on. We need to raise awareness about it. And so I wanted to bring it up during this month, which is Black History Month, but also as it relates to mental health for our friends and neighbors who are African American. All
important information from Deb Johnson. And now we're going to say, Deb, we're going to go and find out about baseball. You should
have fun.
Stick
Get
with
a
it.
home run.
All righty, we will. We'll be back with Matt Karis in just a second. Well, at the top of the show, we alluded to a word called spring, which is, yes, it will happen shortly, we hope. Okay, we got the Commissioner of Spring, Mr. Matt Karis. Welcome back. Welcome to the Focus Set.
Thanks for having me.
The first time we've had you on the show. Nice to have you here. You've been around St. Clair for a couple of years.
Yep,
long
2003.
time.
Yep.
And you and your dad were involved from the beginning with a little thing called St. Clair Little League. Your dad, Bill, is instrumental in getting it built and being involved even before then. Talk to me about St. Clair Little League.
St. Clair Little League, so we got started in 1952 by Joe Clutcha. Obviously, we started playing at Solis Field and moved to Clutcha Field. And then we were getting there 10 plus years now. We moved to Legacy Park on Fred Moore.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Yep, we've got about 500 kids depending on the year.
500?
Yep, boys and girls. So we're shooting for that number this year. And yeah, we have about 60 teams throughout that. And
so you started as a player?
yes. So yeah.
How old were you when you first started?
Oh, well, T-ball.
Okay.
So I broke my nose playing T-ball. So,
And you snored ever since.
Yep.
How old is T-ball?
T-ball is 4. We do accept some 3-year-olds, but it's 4 and 5, and then 6 and 7 for T-ball too.
Their agents have to negotiate with you in order to get them to play when they're 4 instead of 3.
We make them sign a lifelong contract at that age.
So you got T-ball, and you started then, and then you worked your way up. Your dad was involved from that step the day forward, and
Yes.
he still is.
Yes, absolutely. He's more behind the scenes. He gets a lot done. Whenever we need favors, he's probably the first one we call.
Mm-hmm.
So, because he's the first one to always volunteer for something. So he's been instrumental, getting the new fields. Him and obviously Tom Foley.
Yep.
And a lot of things behind the scenes, like statues are out there. Is always his ideas, the bathrooms, the extra bathrooms. So yeah, he's an important part of the league.
The Little League is such an integral part of any community,
Yes.
but this one has really grown over the years and gotten bigger and bigger and been very successful. You were a player and then you became a coach?
Yep, 2003 is when I started coaching. Me and Matt Disrath, so we just got together, started coaching the A's with Tom Foley and Charlie Cronenworth, and fell in love with it and been doing it ever since.
Okay. And you worked your way up the ranks.
Yes.
And there's been a change of leadership in this last winter. Tell me about that.
So after 8 great years, Jamie Haslam stepped down. He's now the district administrator for the whole league. So it's good to have him controlling and looking over the district because he's a really good leader. And he kind of volunteered me to be the president.
You put your hand up at the wrong time,
Yeah.
huh?
So I graciously accepted, and there was nobody else that probably wanted to do it. So I was lucky enough to get it.
Okay. So the responsibilities as president of St. Clair Little League, what does that entail?
Delegating a lot. Mr. Tom Foley always taught me to delegate a lot. So
I learned a long time you have to have a finger like this and you say, take that and move it over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you do?
So, I mean, the team we have in place is great. Libby Miller is the vice president of softball. Matt Disrath's the vice president of baseball. They do a lot behind the scenes. Libby does the website and the registration. Matt controls all the scheduling and team placement like that. So it's really people, I'm just there for people to yell at. They do all the good things behind the scenes and make sure things work. So it's really just kind of getting everything organized and kind of knowing the steps. And Jamie's been helping me a lot. I call him just about every other day with questions.
One of the big things that happens every year is registration. And this year you've got a partner in T-Mobile?
Yes. So they started last year. They teamed up with Little League International, and it's a grant program. So if you're financially can't afford Little League, it's $125. So yes, at this time, people might be struggling.
Right.
And it's a great offer. There's a link on our website. You go there, you register, and within probably 3 days, they'll let you know if you are accepted or not. So far, we have a handful of kids that have already signed up and got their registration fee covered fully by T-Mobile.
Do you have to provide financial information, or?
You do have to find one financial information with just one slip, and they accept it. They accept pretty much everyone.
Oh, okay.
So that needs it. So
that's on your website.
Yep.
And your website is?
StClairLittleLeague.com.
Okay. and just click on the T-Mobile link.
Yep, it's a big picture. It's pink with 3 kids on it. Click on that. It'll take you right to the application.
Okay.
Fill that out, and then they'll let you know within a few days. And then we get an email, and they send us a check. So there's very little that they need to do.
Okay. Over the last 10 years with the new park, Legacy Park, you've hosted numbers of tournaments.
Yes.
You got the Wood Bat tournament, and now you got a new tournament.
Yes, this is a Shine On tournament. Carrie Kerbrat, it's on it for her. Terrible.
Wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful lady. Unfortunately passed away. So this is just like the Derek Kaufman tournament, a way to honor her. And she was heavily involved. Her and her husband Kevin heavily involved in softball. So this is a softball only tournament. It's the second weekend of May. It's the weekend after.
Oh, it's early.
Yep. So they've already sold out. They have a lot of teams, and we're really looking forward to it. And we're excited because this is really the first big softball tournament with multiple ages at our facility. So,
how many teams do you think you'll have? Round figure.
I think 50. I think they're
50.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
So, yep. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, we're going to have a lot of teams. We're going to be a couple different locations, but the main area will be Legacy Field. So we're looking forward to that.
Okay. All right. Then you've got some statewide tournaments over the years. A couple of years ago, you had 2 or 3 one season.
Yep.
And what's happening this summer?
This year's the intermediate boys state title. So that is, or state championship. That is 13-year-olds. And intermediate is the bases are in between, Little League and major fields. So that's only going to be 8 teams, but it's still a state tournament, and we're excited to have it.
Now, I'm in a position, not me necessarily, well, I guess I am. If my children are all gone and I still would like to be involved, how do I do that?
Yep, right on the website, you go to registration, and then there's a volunteer section. You do have to pass the background check, so,
Well, that's only fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
And those aren't that difficult.
No, they're not. So but there's a link. You just sign up as a volunteer, and then you select what you want to do, and submit your information, and pretty soon you'll get a background check, and there you go. Good.
Well, the key for this year, after congratulating you on your new position, is registration, and it's open until when again?
Early registration is open until March 13th. After March 13th, it goes up $25.
Okay.
So, and there is a discount per kid. So the first one's $125, the next kid would be $105, and so on from there.
Okay. And you can go online to stclairlittleleague.com.
Yep.
And see, you can register, and you can also go to the T-Mobile link.
Yep.
And maybe get a scholarship.
Yep, absolutely. So it's also you can look us up on Facebook too. Everything's on there.
Have we missed anything?
I don't believe so. I think we're good to go.
Okay. Well, that's your invitation. Get your baseball glove out, folks, and go out there and volunteer at Legacy Park. If you've not driven in there, are you working on the road going in?
We are working on the road. Yes, we've got some things. We've reached out to a few different organizations too. We haven't heard back yet, so we're going to follow up on that.
Okay. It looked like there was some tar or something going down the other day. Maybe.
Yeah, that's I think just repairing. They were putting the new light poles up at the neighbors there, so we're working on that.
See, people are watching you.
Yeah.
It's a good. It's a place, but it's a really active place. If you go by on the weekends, anytime during the summer, just pull in, and you'll be amazed if you haven't driven in there. What a wonderful facility it is here for the whole Blue Water area. Mr. Matt Karis, thank you for coming in, and congratulations on your new position.
Thanks for having me.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.